Hello everyone, I'm Shane and we're here in Gort Community Centre with Gordon Darcy, who's going to give a lovely talk this evening. So Gordon, what is your talk going to be about this evening?
It's going to be about an eco-study that I did around Ballinderrine village in South Galway. I was taken on by the Tidy Towns Committee to have a look at the different habitats and to focus on biodiversity particularly. So I'm going to be talking about that, and we'll be visiting 4 different high value habitats within a perimeter of Ballinderrine, and I'll be talking about what we found there. The features, of course, in those habitats are snails. You can see a little snail here, a banded snail. They perch on the rocks, so they're very important creatures in the scheme of things, both in the Ballinderrine region and also in the Burren.
What is the main thing you want people to take from tonight?
I'd like them to be conscious, particularly if they come from places where they think they're in the outback, that there are places in South Galway that are full of nature, and if they just did something like what they did in Ballinderrine, get the Tidy Towns or some other group, some other community group involved in working with an ecologist to try and find out what's there in terms of the flora and fauna. And then there are wonderful woods as well, like Garyland and Cool Park. So, you know, you can look at these different habitats and factor them into your zone of interest, your ecological zone of interest. And if you have enough community enthusiasm for it, you can get people to come along and work with you to produce, you know, an inventory of the flora and fauna. I was always fascinated with birds since I was a little kid. Goodness, it's hard to explain where I started. My first article that I wrote for the school magazine was in 1961, would you believe, about the birds of Belfast Lough. So I was only a kid at the time, and ever since then I've been writing and just taking an interest in birds, because I think birds are amazing creatures. They're actually an indicator of how rich your biodiversity is, because you can see birds, you can see that they're there. If there's a lot of birds, there's a big variety of them, that means your biodiversity is going to be rich as well. Whereas if you're, you know, working with slugs or something that lives underneath a rock, it's much more difficult to work out the biodiversity from those creatures.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah, like it's obviously, if someone sees birds, they obviously see nature, and like it's very important.
Yeah. They're showy creatures. Butterflies are another example, actually. Butterflies are a great vehicle for working out biodiversity.
All right, Gordon, thanks so much for coming this evening, and we're looking forward to your talk.
Pleasure, thanks very much.